Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone, to Going Goddess, the podcast where we explore the journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and living your most authentic life. I'm your host, Cherry, and I'm here with...
I'm Silver. And today we're diving into a topic that is so real and so relevant, making new friends in a new city. I mean, especially as an adult, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is hard. I just did it. Cherry's done it several times, and we are ready to talk about it.
Yes, exactly. Moving somewhere new can be thrilling, but let's be real, it can also be straight up lonely. Yes, we have both experienced this very recently, actually. You realize really quick that your circle isn't actually just built in, and especially when you're no longer living in environments designed for making new friends. We're talking about leaving behind familiarity, walking straight into a place where no one knows your name yet.
Yet. Okay, so I think the first thing to acknowledge is that making friends as an adult is just different. We have careers, we have families, we have established routines. We're not always in environments that naturally facilitate connection. I mean, it used to be so easy going to school and going to, different events that I would know people, but now in a new place, we don't have that. But also, here's the kicker. Sometimes people aren't even open to new friendships, and it's not your fault. It's because they're locked into their own circles, and it's just the setup. It's a harsh reality. Nobody wants to talk about it, but I assure you, it's not your fault.
That is so powerful, and it's so true, and something that is kind of like there's kind of shame around talking about that. Like, I want to be friends with this person. I don't feel like there's an in there, but I know we'll dive into that a little bit more later on in the episode. But there's also like this fear of coming off as desperate. Like, I'm lonely, I need a friend, like talk to me, anyone. It's like dating, but for friendships. And people hesitate to be the one to reach out because they don't want to seem too eager. You gotta be cool, right? But guess what? Being intentional isn't desperate, listeners. It is necessary.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I want to reshape that thought. I have learned to confront it living in a new city because people trying to play a game of I'll get back to them in a little bit and I'll get back to them here and there. It's like, it's not desperate to try to become a friend with somebody. It's just friendliness and connection. Everybody needs connection. But anyways, where do we start? Because this is a lot to take in, right? Like, it's not as simple as just go do the thing. We're not talking about yoga classes and happy hours, because that can be some people's cup of tea, but it's not everybody's. If you want to break into real circles, you have to go where the real conversations happen. Think about things like open mic nights and local art shows. I mean, Cherry, you do improv.
Yes, I do. And actually, that's been an amazing way to make some really meaningful new friends. And it's like a slow burn. It's like, okay, we're all in this improv class together. We don't know each other. Why did we start this? Why did we come here? Okay, because we were at home bored, or I wanted to make new friends. And also, it was a goal of mine to just try it out sometime. And then it's not like we were immediately friends, but in something like that, every week we're being vulnerable and playing and encouraging each other and messing up and celebrating the mess ups. And like that is forming some like real bonds with these people. I'd like think about them throughout the week. I care about them and I just see them once a week, but I would have never met any of these people if I didn't go to this improv class and just say like, all right, whatever, I'm just going to be weird. And so are these people. So we'll all do it together.
Right? And then, so you have your improv, I have my local art shows. I agree on that front too. We also go to, like, we just met a friend last week at the Yellow House, which was hosting a grand gallery opening about political art, which was really interesting. And while we were there, we met a really interesting couple, like, that had an art piece in the gallery. So now we're messaging, and when they get back into town, we're going to go hang out and have dinner. And I'm really excited to meet them.
Yes.
I'm
I
super
love that
excited
for
about
you.
art. Yeah, so like go where the art is, and those are the people that I want to be friends. So go where you want to be, where you want to hang out, and like the things that you want to do. Your input.
Yeah. I love what you said. Like, you have to go where the real conversations happen because, yeah, like to your point, happy hours, sure, maybe. And like, there is like the social lubrication from alcohol or whatever, but it still can be fairly surface level. And also, happy hours, a lot of the times, are with your clique from work. And so, like, where what do you want in a friend, and where do you think you would find people like that? Like, I want open-minded people. I'm going to go to places where I feel like there are open-minded people, like you said, like an art show or an open mic night or
Improv.
improv. Also, like karaoke. I've made some karaoke friends. Like, if you have a hobby, go find where they're doing that hobby with a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Which that actually leads me to the second place where I would recommend finding people that you're interested in befriending, which would be, well, our notes say book clubs that aren't afraid to get weird, but I would say bicycle clubs that aren't afraid to get weird
Love it.
because I think you should lean more into the activity aspect. I feel like the more activity that you put into it with the community, the more open you are, the more likely you are to be yourself and to be more authentic in that moment. You're not relying on libations at a happy hour. You're not relying on a movie or a book or some form of entertainment to talk about. You're actually in that moment. You're interacting, you're getting out and physical and active. So that already has endorphins flowing. And I actually was just asking a couple weeks ago. So one way that I've been trying to get active in my community and learn, gain friends with people that I'm interested in is going to my burn nights, weekly burn nights. And I've been asking around about a bike club because I saw in Boulder there's this bike club that gets weird. Like they do like Burning Man bicycles where they like dress up their bicycles. Some of them, there's one that's 2 stories tall, it's bunk beds, and they'll have like ride people around. They're like electric bikes at that point, they put some motor,
Yeah.
but still they go out every Thursday night. And so I was like, man, if I do like burn nights on Tuesday nights and then Thursday we can go like dress up our bikes and go ride around, like that'd be such a fun way to meet new people. I've kind of run some on time right now, but I do want to make that a priority soon. So that'd be so fun.
I love that. And I think also, like, these things that we're saying, we've already made the choice to get a little weird. Like, we've already put cool at the door because, like, what is cool anyway? But like subjective societal constructs. But like, we check the cool and get weird and like get out of your day to day. Like, get out of your regular clothes. Like, go find something that you have to dress up for, maybe, or
Mm-hmm.
that you have, like, there's something else. Like, I love what you said about like moving energy, moving yourself, getting active. I think that because that just stirs a lot up, like in yourself and others. Yes, I love that.
Exactly.
And number one thing is you gotta be okay with getting a little weird. Get weird.
Right? Exactly. If you can't get weird, uh, good luck finding friends. Nobody is perfect off the bat. Anyhow, that leads me to the third point, which is community activism. That is another great practical way that you can meet people that are like minded because you can rally for a cause that you both find very important. Um, it'll bring you straight into the heart of people that you know will show up, people that you know will care, people that have empathy and compassion for others. And to me, that's a really important aspect of friends that I have, and also very hard to find in new communities.
Yes, very much so. Wow, that's a really great point. Like, it could be volunteering, it could be going to a rally, it could be, I don't know, like walking around with a survey or like a petition. There's just lots of different ways to like that community activism can come into play. That's not just handing out sandwiches. There isn't anything wrong with that. In fact, it's really fun because then you get to talk to even more people. But um yeah. So like, think of the things that you do today. How can you maybe go one step different in those things? So like, you like to exercise. Can you find a weird bike group? You like to read. Can you find a weird book club? Maybe that I love that, like people that want to sit and talk about philosophy,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And every city has these things. Like you might have to do a little bit of digging for it, but looking up hashtags of like, I don't know, what's a good hashtag that you would search? I'm like thinking of, I don't know, like weekends in OKC
Things to
or
do in Jacksonville.
yes, things to do. Those hashtags on TikTok and Instagram. And also joining community boards is a good way, like on Facebook or something, is a good way to see what's out there. And you know what, guys? You don't have to commit to the whole event. That's something else like really important to remember. You can go to an event, maybe take a little walk around and then just decide it's not for you and peace out. That's a-okay. But like just go try it out. Do the thing. You're gonna have to make some initiation on your side of things. On
Right.
your end.
That's true. You're on your own terms. I mean, anything that you do, you're on your own terms. That's the beauty of it. And meeting new people, you are putting a new persona in front of a new audience that nobody else has seen. This is your chance to be who you are, own your character, and step into that authentic moment, you know? If you don't
Yeah.
find the event that you're looking for, make it. It's that simple. Now, I say it's that simple. It's not always that simple. But, like for example, if I were to think about like community activism, last year I was holding bottles of water in my car for homeless people. So anytime I
Mhm.
see like a homeless person during the summer and it was super duper hot, I would have at least a bottle of water to give to them. Or I could drive around downtown, I could pass them out whenever I was out doing whatever. Well,
Yeah.
then, like a couple weeks later, another group came along and they were talking about doing the same thing. And I was like, wait, I've been doing that too. Like, why did we not join forces all along? Like,
Right.
other people in the city are probably looking for something similar to you. So put that out there and, see what comes to you. Because maybe there are others that have that same similar interest.
100%. And like I know that for me, like having someone reach out to me that didn't know me, but I had like shown that I was interested in something and they're like, hey, I saw that you had some interest, like whatever. People reaching out makes me feel seen and like I'm part of a community, even when I haven't like really spent any time there yet.
Right?
So it's
Exactly. You
huge.
didn't even know it was a community. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the more you can be in one community, there's that means there's a whole bunch of people that can introduce you to other communities. So like really just trying to get plugged in somewhere or sampling it. Like just take yourself on a tour of all the different things that might be interesting to you. And again, you don't have to commit to anything.
Mm-mm.
Um, Another thing to think about, like maybe you're at a point where you're also wanting to maybe transition in your career or just learn about something different. You could go to a networking event that aren't just for your career. Maybe it's for a different career, or maybe it's for something you just want to learn about, or there's people that you know are open minded, like minded, that are in this field, and you can go there without having any agenda and just be your raw, real self. And like you're not there to climb a ladder. You're just there to learn and actually network, which is what these things are for. So
Yes, yes, that reminds me of things like Sunset Soiree. Jacksonville just had an event at Deco Live called Sunset Soiree, and it was where a lot of my new friends in the burner community went to go perform. But also, it's a bunch of people just networking in Jacksonville, just people that want to get out and socialize, dance, drink, hang out, have a good time, find new friends in a new city. That's exactly what they're there for. There are events like that all over the place, and that's just one. I also see a ton of events on Facebook and Instagram for Jack's social meetups and things of that nature, or Board in Jacksonville group. And so you can find that probably in any other major city. I also remember having that in Tulsa. So there's tons of places that host like lots of events specifically for networking and meeting up with other
yes,
people.
it's something that I like. You know what? We all deal with this, and as much as I would like to say that I never have, um, challenge yourself to befriend someone that doesn't look like your other friends or someone that you usually hang out with.
Yeah.
That I was like, I had this realization a few months ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I love this person. I feel like we would have never connected if we weren't in this group together. And it was like a check on me, like, why not, Cherry? And I mean, different like personalities for sure, and like all of these things, but it's also like just another reminder that like you don't have to have purple dreads to be my friend, is what I'm saying. So, um, or like, whatever, like that. But that is like a true thing that we go to the places that we feel like we fit into, or people look like us or sound like us. And I really challenge all of us to try to get out of those spaces.
Mm, that is a great challenge. I am so guilty of that too. And I'm not trying to judge people. I also just don't want to. I think it comes down to not wanting to waste my time. I don't want to be stuck in a conversation that I can't get out of, or stuck with somebody that I don't feel like is at my level of like comfort with myself. Somebody that might come into a conversation with assumptions or with preconceptions of how that conversation might go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Or yeah,
exactly.
how do you measure that?
It usually comes from the first interaction because I do smile a lot and I am very much a presence. So as soon as I'm a like if somebody looks at me and they immediately ignore me and they know like I know that they saw me smile at them and they just ignore me and turn around and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to just like you said, I'm not going to make an effort to try to befriend you if you're going to actively try to make me work for it. I'm not going to assert my effort just because you feel some sort of way, some kind of like ego that I have to appeal to in order
Right.
for you to accept me.
Yeah. Yeah. That I love that. That like, yeah, because we meet new people, and I'm very guilty of like everyone's awesome and they're my best friend, and like that's a lesson that I have learned over and over and over again. But then you'll talk to them a little bit, and it feels like I'm needing to measure up to something, or I'm needing to become something to like match them, or to be in their orbit, or like whatever. And yeah, no, I don't have any patience for that anymore. Like I don't have any mental capacity. I need you to accept me as I am. It will be weird. It's going to get weirder.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah, and I feel like I've gotten to a point where it can be sometimes like tangible if a person is super inauthentic and they're trying to like come to your level, whatever level above or below. Either way, you can usually feel it, and those are usually the times that I like walk away from the conversation. Okay. But
Yeah.
this does lead us on to something that I really want to talk about next, which is the fear of rejection. Because also, while we talk about doing all these things that sound so easy and go talk to people and go respond whenever people look at you and smile, don't turn around and ignore them. But why do people do that? I think it stems a lot out of the fear of rejection. They don't want to put that effort in. They don't want to make the first move. And then all of a sudden they feel like they were, given the cold shoulder or it wasn't matched. The energy wasn't matched. So, like, I get it, but that's something that I think that people are just going to have to work through.
Yeah.
I mean, how much are you willing to risk to find your people? Like, rejection is common. If you can't take it, then you need to grow.
Straight up. We're here with the real truth. Hard truth. If you can't take rejection, suck it up. No, guys. Like, and so much love. Something I've been thinking about this whole podcast is like the when you move to a new city, even before you're looking for new friends, the most important thing to do is to like find your peace and yourself. And like you're going through transition. And so just being really gentle with yourself. And that doesn't mean that you can't go look for new friends until you're like 100%, because it's a journey. And are we ever really 100%? But like, I mean, like 100% comfortable and confident in every single thing that we do. I feel like, anyway, I digress. I'm wanting to say is um to be really gentle with yourself when you move somewhere, when you are going through that transition, and to lean into your peace as much as possible. And that means that like emotions might be on like a shorter stick, like if that makes sense. Like it might take a little less of something to trigger you in a certain emotion. And so rejection definitely falls into that. So like
Mhm.
with moving somewhere new, I'm am much more easily like anxious about something, about being rejected. Whereas somewhere that I have a whole group of friends, I'm like, I don't care if that person likes me or not because I have my whole group over here. So like in this time especially, like rejection will be present and the fear of it. And we can't let that keep us from living or finding our tribe, because your tribe is out there looking for you and wanting you to come sit at their table. um, it does take time though, because all good things do, right? Like it takes that effort of knowing what you're looking for, what your boundaries are, who you want in your tribe, and going for it, and being okay with finding people that you think might be a soulmate of yours and then realizing maybe that's not true, and then moving forward, moving on from that relationship, or keeping it at like that acquaintance, and then and nurturing it, maybe seeing where it grows. But yeah, definitely rejection is a big thing on both sides, because you're the new person coming in, and like the people that are already in their established groups might be like, ooh, new person, I'm intimidated by them, you cannot sit with me,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. No, it's you said it a lot nicer than I did, but it's definitely tough. Like no matter what setting you're in, like whether it's like going to a new city and trying to join the new group, or it's in a new like particular like class that you're in, trying to like join, trying to fit in, you know, anytime that you feel out of place because you're trying something new, it automatically feels like compounded whenever you're rejected, or whenever somebody makes fun of you or they make a comment about it, and all of a sudden you're like super insecure about it. But I say that that's the time to grow, because like this literally just happened to me a couple weeks ago, where I was with um, a group of people that I have been hanging out with a little bit more frequently, and I had befriended this one person, and I thought, and whenever they got to the place that we were at, I like stood up to give them a hug. And whenever I went to like give them a hug, they saw me and they were coming towards me. And then as soon as they saw me, they turned around and gave somebody else a hug, and like for an extended period of time, and kind of just like. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit back down now. And I sat back down, and it kind of made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, why? Like, should I just like move forward? What do I do? Well, and then later on, they made a comment about um, our dog that was there with us, and it was like a very rude, like kind of hateful comment. And I was like, why would they do this? Like, we've been hanging out, we've been friends, like, you know, we've hung out a few different times, but it was like so painful that in that moment, instead of sticking around and hanging out for the rest of the evening, just Irish goodbye, just packed up Dr. Rascal and said, bye, we're going home now. And I didn't, in the end, like, I did need to grow. I needed to acknowledge that it's okay to like not everybody is gonna like me. Not everybody in these new friend circles are gonna like me. They do have their own circles already established. I'm
Mm-hmm.
joining into this circle, and I'm the newbie. Like if I want to gain their trust, I do have to, you know, at least work for it a little bit. Also though, I have a boundary, and I do feel that I'm not going to like, you know, bend over backwards to and feel like I want their friendship or their attention just because I'm hanging out with that group of people.
Oh yeah. No, I mean honestly, I don't think that I need to work for anything for a friend. I think that there are ways that we behave in friendships that's like, yeah, I'm gonna do things for you, and I will be here for you, and I will like, but there isn't like a, okay, well she needs to check off this, this, and this, and then she can be my friend. Like
Right.
actually no, like you get to be my friend because you are you. and that is perfect. And we're going to grow together because we're not always going to agree on everything. That's how my friendships are. And that's what I like look for and what I kind of require in friendships. Like, we're going to grow together. If you're not down, we
Mm,
can be acquaintances. That's great. That's fine.
exactly. Yeah,
But
that's the conclusion I came to too. I was like, you know what? I don't need this in my life, so I'm not gonna keep making an effort.
no, I'm so proud of you. And I'm really sorry that that happened. And it's really annoying that it's in a space that touts love and acceptance and open-mindedness and connection and inclusivity, and you felt very like targeted, excluded.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and honestly, like that is going to happen. And it's really surprising when it's in spaces that they say one thing and act a different way.
Hmm.
It can be really painful. But that doesn't mean give up. And I'm really proud of you for not giving up. Did you share the second part that you went back?
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. So after that, yeah, after that we went and hung out with them again the following weekend, and I don't know, everything was fine. We hung out with the girl for a little bit, but they had their own things going on that evening. But I mean, everything was fine, and went out dancing again, and it just, I think in the end, it comes down to like it was overstimuli, also having the dog there.
Hmm.
Um, but
Even though usually that's how you make new friends. Bring your dog.
okay, so that's something that I found
Like
interesting
it
about
was her.
That's something I found interesting about Jacksonville. People take their dogs places, but they're not dog friendly. And I don't understand it. Like, they'll take their dog and be like, don't let your dog touch my dog. Don't do that. Like, and they'll get really angry if your dog tries to play with their dog. And in this case, that didn't happen. Like, the owner was like letting us play. Well, I'm not sure if she's the owner or not. But they were letting us play, and like Doctor was just running around and having a great old time. But then whenever she made that comment about Doctor being a bad dog or not as obedient or something like that, I was like, okay, you just rejected me and my dog and my husband. I want to go home now.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't think that like I think that was the right thing to do in that because like yo, we hit a limit. Like
Mm-hmm.
this and we don't have to push through on things like that. Like you don't have to just like I'm going to tough it out and like because I'm new here. Like again, if it doesn't feel good, you can leave. Check yourself on why it doesn't feel good. Like, are you just really nervous and anxious? And that's okay. And if it's too much, you can go. But, like, is it fear based or is it like, oh, this actually isn't a safe space for me right now? This isn't aligned with my peace. And I
Mm-hmm.
love that you said that it's not about you. Like, people have their walls up, people have trust issues, full calendars. Like, so when rejection happens, begging you to not take it seriously or personally or seriously, listeners. Like, don't be afraid to move on. Ghosting goes both ways. And, it's okay. And it's okay. And
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's no reason to put yourself into a friendship with somebody that doesn't value you the way that you're going to value them because you're looking for a friendship. You're looking for a friendship. They're not. So whenever that happens, and I feel like moving to a new city, you're already, the scales are already tilted against you. You're looking for a friendship. The people in the new city are not. They are already established for the most part, unless you find other newbies too that are trying to be established. So
Yes.
that puts you in a vulnerable position.
Yes. And like, yeah, there's gonna be meetups for new people in a given situation. Maybe it's like new Dungeons and Dragons. Like if that's your thing, open nights for that, or like new cooking or baking or just really anything, but you can definitely search that. And I think starting something at like an entry level, like level one, is that puts you automatically on a level playing field with all of these people. So like, yeah, okay, they lived there, but guess what? You all are new. You're all baby in this situation.
Yeah.
All vulnerable. You're all gonna suck. Like, go find somewhere where you can all suck together. I don't know.
And support. Moving
Yeah.
to the city. Oh yeah, there's actually a group I'm thinking of called the Newbies, and it's so cute, like new BEES, the
Oh,
Newbies.
I love that.
So yeah, there are actually groups specifically for new people to get to know new people in the city, so you can all suck together.
Yes. And I cannot stress enough to go to the that you think you would never do. Like, just go to the Singo night or the bingo or the pup meetup. I don't know, anything, something that you've never done before.
Hmm.
I'm on this big kick of like adding just new experiences in my life because I just don't know what one new experience will lead me to. It's
Right?
very exciting.
Especially in a new city. Why are you doing the same things in the new city?
Yeah, and also if you've ever wanted to like change your outfit or maybe the way that you talk. When I went to college, I turned my accent off completely because I wanted people to take me seriously and not like I was from Knoxville. Like so I
Art.
yeah,
Oh man,
but
that's crazy.
yeah, or like any like fashion forward thing like out in Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma, so I'm like, "Oh, I can wear that." I don't know anyone. So
Hmm.
like it
Right?
doesn't
It's
yeah,
true. But actually, while we're on this topic, you know what's actually edgy?
tell me.
Calling people out on their bullshit.
Ooh.
You're in
Ooh.
a new city now. You don't have anybody to impress. You don't
Nope.
have anybody to try to hold you to a standard. You don't have family and old friends from college or high school or anything. Call them out. Call people on their shit and like just be upfront. If you don't talk to them, they're not going to know what they're doing wrong either. Or maybe they do and they haven't been called on it. That's where we need people like us, goddesses, to speak up and to use our voice and to make the change that we want to see in our new communities.
Yes. Like, yeah, because you can absolutely call someone out with love and say, like, hey, this is where it's not okay for me. This is where the line is. This is like, what I'm willing to accept and what I'm not. And a lot of times, and sometimes people handle it negatively, but in my experience, people are like, oh, wow, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I haven't ever thought about it that way. I didn't know that that's how you might feel. And yeah, I will adjust accordingly. Or let's have a conversation. And then they're just like getting some connection there. But you have nothing to lose in experimenting with your truth and like leaning into main character and your truth and what you are willing to accept and not willing to accept as hard as possible, especially during this time. And also, like, when someone tells me their boundary, I'm like, ooh, okay, I definitely want to be your friend
I know that's what I
because I
was just thinking. Like to me, that establishes a friendship. Like that shows that somebody cares enough about me that they're going to take the time to tell me what I did wrong so that I can fix it, or what they need from me to make that thing work, make that communication work. It might not be that it was something wrong. It just needs to be tweaked because they will respond better if you do it in
yeah,
this way. Like you talking about texting a new friend. Like you need to communicate back, not leave me hanging and make me feel like I'm working for it.
yeah, like and keep questioning, and then also if that's like what's going on, you're messaging someone, and I mean, I will triple 500 text you if I got some stuff to say. Like if that's a boundary for you, let me know. But then when I'm not getting responses back, it's like eventually I will get to the point where I'm asking like, hey, is this, I know that we're both busy and like I'm it's okay that we don't, respond. I definitely don't respond immediately to text messages, but when it's going like, a few weeks, are we okay? and and bringing that up. But yeah, I love that you said that calling people out can be a way to get friends too. Sticking up for something. That's a great way to find
Yes.
like-minded people.
Yes, that is a great way to find your people. It's true. But I think overall nurturing the friendship is definitely the best way to, keep the new friends that you meet in the new city. I do call people on their shit, but more frequently than not, I try to compliment and encourage them to do the thing and try to build community. One thing that I'm missing a lot is hosting events. So I'm going to host a clothing swap, and a friend of mine offered their tattoo shop event space that we can do it at. So I'm going to try to make that happen. And Angel, I know you're listening. Let's get
Yes.
it together. But
Yeah.
all of us badass goddesses, like we just gotta, make the move. That's, I think, the bigger thing is not getting in your head whenever you want to go to these events and you want to go talk to people, but you don't know what to say and you don't want to look like a fool. You don't want the rejection.
Yeah, totally. And it's also okay to go anywhere and be like, I'm new here. So, baby, like, and because there are people out there that just want to love on others and like include them and bring them in. And like, that's their purpose. And I love when I meet people like that. You can just tell, like, just servants' heart. They just want to bring people in. But then, going back to nurturing friendships and just I know what it's like being on a one-sided one, and then I'm realize like, oh wait, no, friendship is a two-way street, and they're busy, I'm busy too, and it was important for me to like reach out to them and to try to connect. But don't be afraid to redirect that energy somewhere if it's not being reciprocated. Sometimes the very best way to make room for new friends is by cutting off the dead weight of one-sided ones. And we got into in a previous episode on letting go of friendships and are you my friend, and it's
Yes,
okay.
yes, and it's actually more than okay.
Yes.
It's like a weight lifted when you do that. Even in new cities, it's crazy. You find new people that you think are going to be great friends, and then you realize quickly they might be a drain on you, and you're like,
Yes.
meh, take a step back.
Yo, very much so. That's something that I experienced moving out here, and like, yeah, finding a friend group that we spent a lot of time with. And by the end of the summer, I looked back to reevaluate where I was at, and it's like, okay, I spent a lot of time with these people. I did not grow. I did not. I am not wealthier. I'm not healthier, and I devoted a lot of my time to them. So what needs to happen here? I think I need to make a change, reevaluate where I'm at in this friendship, and take a step back. And that's okay. And surprise to me, not really, but surprise, surprise, sometimes when you remove yourself from a situation, it can be kind of hurtful when no one actually reaches out and it's like, oh, did you care if I was there in the first place? And that's what happened, and I had to be okay with, like, I mean, yeah, I'm the one who removed myself, and then nobody cared, which is that's
Mm.
okay, and the sooner that we can do that, the better.
Those situations, though, set ourselves up for failure. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I don't think that there's really any way to avoid it.
Yeah.
It Man,
What do you
I
mean? Say
understand
the
the struggle. Huh?
what? I feel like you're trying to say something, but
Well, I'm just thinking of like when it feels like people don't want you there, because that has happened like a lot in moving away and having nobody in my close circles, and thinking that I had befriended some people and then they never reached back out, driving hours to go see a specific group of people multiple times and they never come to Jacksonville to visit us. We're not that far. Like, it's all of those things that you think that you're putting in all the effort with the right people and they don't reciprocate, and it's really painful. But that's also, again, comes back to growth. You'll take those moments whenever you start to recognize that they're not reciprocating. You start to, like, analyze and think about, like, why does this hurt me?
mm-hmm.
It's because of a reason. You just gotta figure out what it is. Like, I put my time and my effort and my energy into these people and they never gave it back. And now I have to find out why I didn't see those signs whenever I was trying to befriend them. How do I recognize that so that I don't do the same thing with new friends here in the city or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hear what you're saying. And it's like maybe we can't even really protect ourselves from that, because when we're in a place of being open and vulnerable and like meeting people and sticking ourselves out there, we're not necessarily also in that same mindset looking for all the ways that and we don't want to be looking for ways that they might not be reciprocating, like in the smallest
Mm-hmm.
ways, which then we look back 2020 and it's like, oh, there's a lot of small ways that and now we see. And some people just are not going to see us.
Right.
Like, you might be the like incredible, wonderful people, and on the outside looking in, it's like that person's my soulmate. But if they don't see you, that's an energetic thing, and it's okay. We have to be okay with that and like accepting that not everyone is going to be our friend, which sounds silly to say, but I mean, how many times, have I like gone somewhere and I'm like, oh, that person doesn't like me and it's bumming me out. And what do I do? Well, I say, okay. And I keep on with my day. I don't change anything about myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's taken a long time to get there.
Did take a long time. I was just thinking like how gratifying it is to finally be in that state. Because it
Yes.
used to hurt so much, I would be so offended. Like, what did I do?
Especially because we just come from love. It's like I just want to like have fun with you and like love, and
Yeah,
I feel if you're not seeing me, why not? Like, yeah,
right.
it can be really confusing, and then that is again a chance for us to look back and be like, oh, okay, it's confusing, yes, but it actually doesn't have to be painful anymore because the pain comes from wanting the validation from that person, and no longer do I want that. I give myself the validation.
True. That's so true. Lean into that person that you want to be so that you can give yourself that validation. It's usually people that you want their validation because you look up to them. Something about them is inspiring you, and you're not getting that. And that's why it hurts. Mm, it's good.
That's good stuff. I know, I'm liking chewing on some good stuff. Um,
Introspections.
yeah, totally. And something I was that popped up for me earlier, listeners, if you are in a new city or you're looking for a friend or you want to start something, we would love if you would post that in the Goddess Collective because we have goddesses and our support groups and our everyone all over the world actually, and so there might be someone in your city or they might be headed somewhere or they can connect you with someone. I have a kind of cool story from when I was in college. I wanted to go see Ellie Goulding so bad in Atlanta and I put it on my Facebook status. I want to see Ellie Goulding in Atlanta so bad could cry. And one of my Facebook friends was like, oh, well, I actually work for the venue there, so I can get you on the wait list if you can find somewhere, or the guest list if you can find somewhere to stay and a way to get there. I was like, oh my God. And then someone else commented on the status and was like, hey, my friends are actually driving down later and they have an extra spot. They said you could ride with them. And then someone else commented and was like, I'm from Atlanta, you can stay with my friend. I just asked. She has like an extra room, like a guest room. And so it was just like, what on
The universe saying that yes, you just manifested that into existence.
yes. And so like I say that as encouragement. Like people want to help people. They do. They're out there. Not everyone, okay, but like if there is something that you want to do or you want some support or want to know if there's a friend in your city, someone to meet up with, post it on there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you can also post your questions, your your inspirations, because I know that like for me, for an example, I want to start a new venture where I have macrame backdrop. Hold on, macrame wedding backdrops for rentals. Like I'm trying to get those words together because the macrame wedding backdrop rental doesn't sound right.
It's a
Anyways,
lot.
it's a lot. Anyways, I've been working on the backdrops, but there's going to be the questions about business, the business aspect. How do I go about rentals? How do I go about cleaning? How do I go about like making appointments, etc. Things like that are perfect for the Goddess Collective because there's other goddesses that are going through this. There are goddesses in the collective that own their own business. They have their own marketing. They are other artists. They're other engineers. They can
And of
answer the
course,
question.
huge illnesses. Like there's just everything
Mm-hmm.
in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You don't know unless you don't ask.
Ooh, straight up,
Mm-hmm.
straight up. And yeah, maybe we need to post something on there like, hey, tell us what you're good at.
Yes.
Tell us what you want to share with the world, and we will like send it out and promote it out.
Yes. Oh, I love that idea.
Me too.
Well, listeners, so if you move to a new city or if you're just simply looking to expand your circle, know that it's going to take work. It's going to take effort and it's going to take guts. But you're capable of doing it. You just got to try.
Yes, get out there. Okay, take up space. Take up space. Don't apologize for wanting real connection.
All of it.
Like all yes, take up every space that you can and don't apologize for it. And like lean into your truth that you want real connection and real conversations, and they might look different than any you have ever had before. I think being open to that and knowing where your boundaries are, and then letting yourself explore, trying some new things, feeling some fear, doing it anyway. And the hack is to go to a beginner level something where you can all suck. So, you know.
Yes.
But again, thank you so much for tuning in to Going Goddess. If you loved this episode, please don't forget to subscribe or share it with someone. They might need a nudge to get out there and connect, and hopefully this will be really helpful. But until next time, stay radiant,
stay empowered,
and keep
going
Goddess.
Yeah.